For this project, we have chosen an interlock brick edging. It's fairly inexpensive, very easy to install, and it's wonderful because you can place the wheel of that mower right on top of the edge and just go. First, start out by taking just the top layer of your sod away from where you're going to put your edging. Here I would have normally not even dug anything, but I'm going to make the bed just a little bit bigger to conform with the sidewalk. Try not to disturb the bottom layer or the hard crust of the soil too much because that gives stability to your brick edge. Instead of adding a straight shot with your edging, add some curve. That gives your bed just a little bit more curve appeal, and it's very fun to add plants along a curve rather than a straight edge. And now we're ready to start laying our brick. I use a claw hammer and a rubber mallet as well as a piece of scrap wood just for pounding so I don't crack my brick. I like to tamp down the first spot for my brick just to give it a really good foundation for starting. I always start out with a half brick just so that it ends up even and butts up really good and tight to wherever you're laying your brick. I always like to make sure that the edge of my brick is just a little bit lower than the pavement or the sidewalk wherever I'm putting my bed for the pure fact of snow shoveling here in Wisconsin. And my soil as well. If I have grass already in, instead of digging it out and lowering it, just tamp it down a little bit. You want the edge of that grass just below the edge of the brick. You have probably noted here that we are not using a level. These brick actually follow the contour of the grass or the soil rather than being more of a stackable lawn brick. When your edging's all in and you've come to the end, for instance on this project we come to the driveway, We may not have a saw on hand, but an easy way to do the cuts would be to use a chisel and a hammer. Score your brick all the way around and it should come off cleanly with just a little bit of cleanup.
Hey guys, you gonna plant with me today? We have come to the part of the project that's really fun. Now, I have had the pleasure for many years of working with Monrovia growers, and these are some of the plants that we have chosen for our project. Shirley wanted something colorful, unique, texture, but something that was very easy to maintain. She loves to travel. So I'll show you some of the things that we have chosen for this project. Let's start out with this wonderful spirea. Now, this is one of the new spireas by Monrovia, and it is called Lime Mound Spirea. She grows about 2 feet tall and about 2.5 feet wide, comes back very easy every year, easy to maintain. Give her a couple haircuts during the year, and she's going to be great for you. We've chosen her for one of our front beds. Well, let's show you this golden nugget dwarf Japanese barberry. Isn't she beautiful? She's going to have a little bit more of a golden color to her as she sits in the full sun. If you plant her in partial shade, she'll have this color, which is actually a lime green color. She grows to maybe 1.5 to 2 feet tall, maybe 2 feet wide, so she's going to be a great accent on one of our corner front beds. Now we go with Blushing Bride Hydrangea. Blushing Bride Hydrangea is one of my favorites, and here we have a wonderful beauty. We're going to put one of those in for her because I know she's going to enjoy it. Spirea, again, one of my favorites. This is Little Princess Spirea. She's really easy to take care of, very hardy. She's one of those standard plants that when you're putting in a structure of your garden to start with, like back to basics, you want to use some of your spireas, and Little Princess is one of those. She grows about 3 feet tall and about 2 feet wide. She loves a haircut, so don't be afraid. Even when I get her in, maybe in a week or so, I might still give her a nice tight haircut for the summer. Then she gets one for the fall and again in the spring if you've missed some of the things. So she has a beautiful little pink blossom, and she does wonderful in zone 4-5, and anything warmer, obviously, but even Michigan she's just a beauty. We're going to use an azalea. Azaleas are wonderful for our area. This is the Limelight series. It's going to be a white limelight. It's going to be great because I know she likes azaleas, and it's going to give us a little bit of a height to it. Azaleas are wonderful for our country. They'll grow maybe 5.5, 4.5, 5 feet tall and about 3 feet wide. They don't mind a good trim, so keep them tight because they tend to want to jump in the middle. So keep them as they grow tighter so that you get a lot of new growth from the bottom side. This is Snow Mound Spirea. This is a spirea by Monrovia. It's called Snow Mound Spirea, and she gets about 4 feet tall and about 3 feet wide. Keep her tight. Keep her trimmed like I've done with this one here because it came really nice and big from the grower, but you want to make sure and keep them tight because it keeps your plant healthier, and then she's going to bloom this beautiful white blossom for you in the spring, late spring, early summer. These are Stella Dior daylilies. We all love lilies. The Stella Dior series is one of my favorites because she just gives us so much love with little care. You can plant them in a grouping. You can plant them alone amongst all the rest of your plants just to give some texture and some color. She loves to bloom. She loves to be divided. These two probably could make 4 plants. And she just is one of my ultimate favorite plants to put in if you want something hardy that continues to give you color throughout the season. I'm also going to use some wonderful ornamental grasses, my favorites. Ornamental grasses give you texture, they give you color, they give you interest beyond belief. Very easy to take care of. Zone 4-5 Shenandoah switchgrass is one of my favorites to use. She gets about 5 feet tall, 4.5 to 5 feet tall. She gets a gorgeous little seed pods on them come midsummer. Little tiny seed pods. Don't worry about overseeding. They don't do that. But then you leave them for the winter so the birds have something to nibble on, and they give you some wonderful winter and fall interest. Now this is Walker's Low catmint. We didn't want to use a lot of perennials up front in our bed because Shirley didn't want a lot of flowers to have to take care of. But Walker's Low catmint is easy to maintain, easy to take care of. She almost takes care of herself. Obviously she blooms a purple blossom about mid-spring, end of spring into the summer months. She grows about 2 feet wide by about 12 inches, 6 to 8 to 12 inches tall. Wonderful perennial. She's just a must for any garden. These are barberries. Now we're used to the red Japanese barberries that get big and bulky, and they're still gorgeous but tend to die out in the middle. This series of barberry is called Rosy Glow, and her color, well, I don't have to even say too much. Her color stands alone. See the bright pink? It's just gorgeous. 2.5 to 3 feet tall, 2 feet wide. Keep her trimmed back just like any barberry. She will stay healthy and give you a lot of colors for a lot of years. She is beautiful, isn't she? One of my favorites. This gal here, also by Monrovia, is the 9-bark. We've all heard of 9-barks. They come in many, many, many colors. This is the Diablo series, which is one of Monrovia's one of their newest introductions, and I can't wait to use her. She'll get about 5.5 feet tall and about 4.5 to 5 feet wide here in zone 4 or 5. You can keep her trimmed back, keep her tight again. She comes out with a gorgeous maroon, deep, well, chocolate, I guess we want to say, wine color leaf, and then the blossoms, well, you can see here, they're absolutely gorgeous.